Want to welcome everybody to our final study for this camp meeting. Open with a word of prayer. Holy God, we thank you for your continued watch care over us. Please continue to guide and bless us through this study and after we all leave and separate and go our own ways. May the lessons that we have learnt here help guide and direct us into the future. In Jesus' name, Amen. Sorry about that. I had some technical problems. We began this camp meeting, presentation number 4, by answering or trying to answer the question about diet. People in the movement, Adventists in general, you put the timer on, seem fixated upon the subject of diet. So even though the subject of diet really has not been the focus of this movement since its inception, creation, over 30 years ago, people still seem fixated about this subject. Why do people think that's the case? Why are you so worried about health or diet? Speak for yourself, not for others. Tamina,
As we added, thus says the Lord.
you speaking for yourself.
Because we want to live longer.
Tulfo? Yeah, why are you worried about all this diet stuff? You can begin. Is there a problem with the German? Yeah.
We have it also from Ellen White with the diet. Yeah.
You had the Sunday law from Ellen White. You had no time from Ellen White. You were happy to throw that away. Why did you hold on to the diet issue?
Because Ellen White was literal and we think spiritual, so that means that there could be changes. Changes happened.
Radka?
It's in our vows.
That's the reason why you've been so interested, because it's in the vows.
I have to keep it because it's in the vow.
I'm going to take it out of the vows after this camp meeting. So you're not going to be interested anymore. She's happy now. So you don't like the diet issue. Why'd you put your thumbs up if I was going to take it out?
I have a different view on this.
A diff- what?
On the strictness.
Explain. I don't know what you're saying.
I nestačila. For me, it's a problem to be so very strict about not eating dairy products.
Why do you want to eat dairy for?
I don't want to, but when it's being so strict, it's a problem because I travel and when I go places, there are dairy products and I can't eat it.
So when you go places, you can't find the food that you're supposed to eat, so you want to eat dairy.
Or I meant, for example, visiting people.
Okay. Someone had their hand up?
For me, it's something similar. For Radka, I have a long-term problem to make a difference between the taste and rules.
I don't understand what you just said.
He wants to eat what
So you want to eat for gluttony, not for health. That's what you just said. I have a problem between the rules and my taste buds.
To work on it, and many things I was able to manage.
That's fine. But your problem is you like the taste of the food you're not allowed to eat, and you like the rules relaxed because it tastes good. It's That's the definition of gluttony.
But I don't want to modify the rules. I want to change the tastes.
Okay. Anyone else? When my thing keeps on going in and out, I do. I've got a problem today. It's not yours. Yeah, because it keeps cutting out.
We're asking, why are we so interested in health? My view is that we want to live quality life as long as possible.
It's because you want to live as long as possible. Translate.
Quality.
Are you happy with your life?
I understand that I should or have to live my life usefully, and to be useful, I have to be healthy.
I ask, are you happy with your life? So you have a good life. Yeah, that you're happy with. It's just that most people I meet aren't happy with their lives. I thought they might prefer to die quicker.
Sometimes it is like this, but it's more of emotional thing.
That's what I mean. Most people aren't happy with their lives because their relationships don't work well. So we have a new rule: eat vegan unless it's too hard. Does that help you, Radka? Does that help you, Peter? That's already, the rules are already like that. You can already go eat dairy next time you visit your friends. Eat dairy next time you visit your friends. Who was your teacher? Baptismal teacher. So did this teacher not tell you that? No.
Maybe she said it, but I misunderstood.
Okay. So we'll say that she said it, but you misunderstood. So you can leave happy now. And if you love dairy, you can just visit more people. Oh, okay. 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 So coffee, valve 17. I have a look on, actually, can't look on your computer. I'll do that. Unless you have a offline dictionary. Tell me what a narcotic is. A drug that in small doses dulls the senses. Relieves pain. Causes sleep, but in large doses has dangerous effects. Okay. Everybody okay with that definition? Give me 1 second. Okay, so I just want to make sure that we all understand valve 17 to remind ourselves. 17 says narcotics in all its form, including coffee. So Ellen White says that coffee is a narcotic. Who agrees that's the definition of that coffee is a narcotic? Start speaking. Narcotic is the same as what? Narcotic is the same as what?
That's
I'm just trying and spell the word. Is that the correct spelling? No, it's another I. So current definition is a narcotic is the same as an opiate, and Ellen White says no narcotics or opiates. So she separates them. And the current way that those drugs are understood is that they can be classed together. What does narcotic mean? Oh, Wicker Health, no one's looked. What language does it come from? And it means stupor. We would say stupid. Makes you stupid. So a stupor is something that dulls the senses. She says coffee is a narcotic, and a narcotic in the Greek means stupor, which means to make you dull, slow down the senses. I think most people would disagree that coffee actually does those things. So most people would consider that coffee actually stimulates. It doesn't make you fall asleep. It keeps you awake. So it doesn't meet the criteria of being a narcotic. So I don't know what you think of that. But separate to that, maybe misunderstanding, what's the purpose of a narcotic? Why do we take narcotics? So narcotics are used for pain management. We agree with that? So depending on who you ask, if we use the word opiate, where does that word come from? An opiate. Give me an example of an opiate. Morphine. I don't know if you heard of codeine. So even though a narcotic is like an opiate, they're not made from opium as morphine is. It's made from opium. So they work slightly differently. So when you take these drugs, if however way you want to sort of look at it, there's something in your body like this, and these narcotics latch onto them. And this thing is in your nervous system. And opiates and narcotics do very similar things. So that's why today, having studied the cell biology, there's no distinction made between narcotics and opioids. They're just different types of drugs, but they act in the same way. Everybody okay with that? Any questions? Why does coffee have so is so controversial? Someone's going to say something?
Caffeine.
Okay, so someone said caffeine. Anyone else? So caffeine is the issue. Tamina?
Well, it says that it is a narcotic.
Oh, that's it. Mm-hmm. Deniska?
It's addictive substance.
Okay, so it's an addictive substance. If you do some investigation, especially if you go to Adventist sites, they will tell you the reason why coffee is very dangerous is because of the caffeine content. And they'll say if you have a certain amount of caffeine, it can kill you instantly or very quickly, if it's not instantly. And, and when you look at the numbers, it's not too much. Does anybody know what kind of numbers we're talking about for caffeine to produce death? I'll just give an approximate number so you can remember it. 1 gram. 1 gram of pure caffeine can be enough to kill you or produce really bad side effects that could hospitalize you. Any questions? So these are some of the reasons why Adventists continue to discourage the use of caffeine. And in susceptible persons, vulnerable people, much lower doses can cause severe side effects. So there are some people who suggest that caffeine should be a controlled substance because it's an addictive drug. Anybody got any questions? What's coffee? Agree with that? Don't know what legume is? In German? Just shout it. Good. Yep. Okay, so it's legume, isn't it? So what's wrong with legumes? List out all the poisonous legumes that you can think of. Just list out all the poisonous legumes. Just list out the poisonous ones. You're not going to try? You had your. Just give me the list. Okay. List? Not asking that. Not asking that. I'm not asking if some people don't do well on some types of foods. I said list the poisonous ones. Okay? No sentences, just the name of the bean that's poisonous.
Raw beans.
Okay? So that means all beans are poisonous if you don't cook them. Okay? So name the poisonous beans after they're cooked. Anybody? Tamina says none. Anybody want to say anything else? There might be some weird bean that no one's ever heard of that antelope eats. But all the ones that you've ever heard of, are any of them inherently poisonous? Okay. Oops. So I think we've agreed that none are poisonous. Poison? IOUS? So there are none that are poisonous. That's not good. Just OUS. We agree with that. There are no so coffee can't be poisonous. We can all agree with that. Put your hands up if you disagree or you want to comment. Is your hand going up or? I said that coffee is a legume and I think everybody agreed that no legumes are poisonous once they're cooked. So therefore coffee can't be poisonous. Yep. Anyone else? Okay, so we can establish that coffee is not a poison. So now we're left with the task of trying to understand if this bean should be eaten or not, because it's not poisonous. We all okay with that? So Ellen White's going to say, when it comes to coffee, what's she going to say? We'll go to the latest research. And what do we see?
That is good for you.
Ellen White. Ellen White. She's reading the latest research.
For you.
I don't think they heard.
It's bad for you.
So the latest research says coffee is bad for you. And what's bad about coffee? Hmm? I don't even if they know caffeine. I don't know if they have the ability to break down caffeine or to see it. Let's assume they don't. They say it's bad. Why is it bad?
It's stimulating.
It's stimulating, except that it's a narcotic and narcotics do the opposite. Tamina?
It's similar to the effect of alcohol.
So, and what effect is that?
It goes to your brain.
Stimulating? Addictive. Anything else? Nothing else. So she says, go back to the Eden diet, the modified version, but you're not allowed to eat this bean. You can eat all the beans of the garden except this one because it's stimulating and addictive. Everybody okay with that? So we'll go to us, coffee bean, latest research. And what do we say? It's good. So before they said it's bad, now they're saying it's good. Is it stimulating?
Yes.
I was laughing because the mic. Is it addictive? It's stimulating and addictive. Are they bad? If something is stimulating and addictive, is that bad?
Mm.
Mina said no. Natalie said yes. You said that? So you don't mind taking addictive things in your diet, having addictive items. Start again? I couldn't hear you.
Makes you addictive as well.
Yeah.
So to me, Tamina said lots of foods make you, lots of foods are addictive, don't make you, lots of foods are addictive. Just name one. Sorry?
So
You, you consider tomatoes to be addictive. So strawberries are addictive.
chocolate.
So we'll go to the cocoa bean, which is a legume. Might consider it to be a fruit, I guess. But we'll go with legume. And you said chocolate. So cocoa is addictive. And cocoa is the cousin of coffee. That's what I thought. Nobody corrected me before. Yeah, but she whispered to try to hide my shame, and it's. It's okay, why she? I keep she messaging me in the addictive. Okay, so we got cocoa beans and coffee beans. Tamina says it's okay to eat addictive substances. And Natalie says it's not. So coffee and chocolate are out. Coffee's made from these beans. Sorry, chocolate is made from these beans. And whatever processing you do to it, the same bean.
The cocoa bean's addictive.
No, Thomas said it's addictive. He said there's chemicals in, we'll just call it chocolate, in cocoa that is addictive? What's the matter?
Brain or something. Then
We said it's not addictive. Thomas is an expert on chocolate. He lives in the area. Start again. I don't know what happened. You can start.
It always depends what I do with the cacao bean. Make chocolate and I add sugar. Cacao bean is changed.
Is the cocoa bean itself addictive? You're the one who put your hand up for it. We'll say with yes. You can kill the bean, cook the bean, microwave it, and make it safe. You can do the same with coffee. But the thing itself is addictive, I think. It's the sugar. I got that one. The sugar and the milk is irrelevant. Oh, the sugar and the milk is irrelevant. Oh, no, they're going this. Okay. Sorry. Translate. Yes.
So the dark chocolate in itself is not unhealthy, but if you add sugar and milk, it's unhealthy.
Don't say that. We've just given Radka permission to eat dairy. Problem isn't sugar or milk. It's the cacao bean or cocoa bean that has got elements in it. Stimulant or addictive are really the same thing. The reason the reason why something is addictive is because it stimulates you. And you crave the stimulant, whether it's a high or a low. If it modifies your emotions, it becomes addictive. At least that's what I understand. Back to us. We know it's a stimulant and it's addictive. And now population studies have been done and animal studies. And now they've begun to find good things about coffee. Should that surprise? Should that surprise us? No, because it's a bean. Positive things. Someone besides Natalie.
Okay.
Polyphenols.
Next one. That's it.
They,
Antioxidants is the incorrect word for polyphenols. There's not any proper mechanism to anti or to antioxidize things in your body. It doesn't really happen. So we'll stick with polyphenols. You live longer. Anything else? No fiber or very little. Unless you eat the whole bean.
I read something that it could help with memory for some person.
Memory and connected with memory is what? Decline. Okay, with cognitive decline. Cognitive means brain, decline means less. Um, Joachim first, then Radka.
Creates la- hormones which make you happy.
Radka? Can't be this long.
I don't understand why we are looking at positives of coffee when we said it's addictive and that it's um, narcotic.
I don't understand why you want to drink the body fluids from another animal.
I don't want to.
You said you did.
I have opportunities.
Don't know what. What does that mean? I have opportunity. What does that mean?
I am on a visit and I don't have another I don't have another choice.
You have a choice to. You have a choice to fast. You said why are we looking at why are we looking at all of this when it's addictive? And I said, why do you want to drink milk to make your friend happy Said, "'Cause it's good." I tell you one thing, we could do a list for milk, which is far worse than this bean. Because you said right at the beginning, I'm happy now. We'll move on. One more, please. Helps you go toilet. If any of you are suffering with constipation, instead of taking Metamucil, which is psyllium husk, fiber, take coffee. It's guaranteed to work. So, with all of these positive things, Radka said, why are we discussing this for? If it's addictive, don't discuss it. Is dairy addictive, Radka?
I think all food is addictive.
Including tomatoes. For people online, tomatoes are not addictive. And not all foods are addictive. Unless we're going to redefine the definition of addiction. When you look at it properly, dairy in its various forms is addictive. And the most addictive form of dairy is what? Um, Eggs are not dairy, but eggs are from chickens, and chickens don't marry cows. It could only happen on our final presentation. For those online, this is why I didn't tackle this subject. Cheese. Cheese is the most addictive form of dairy. And it's the one that humans have messed around with. Okay, so all of these good properties for these beans, we'll do a vote. Coffee. Yes. No. Put your hands up if we should start drinking coffee. Five people. Six people. Put your hands up if you should not be drinking coffee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'll go for about 12. So some people haven't participated. We've got more than 18. Why no, Emma?
Because it's still a stimulant and addictive.
And that's bad?
It is.
I don't know who to ask this second question. Radka, is sex addictive? But people online, she doesn't know. Magda, she doesn't know. Okay, we're back to serious. Monica, translate for someone else. Translate for your husband. Is sex addictive? Thomas, is it addictive? Yeah. Esther, yes. So, Emma, no sex. You have to- She said no. She said okay too quickly there. So, just because something is a stimulant or addictive, why does that make it wrong? Why does it make it wrong, Emma?
Because the um because the bad side effects outweigh for me the benefits. Surely.
So, Emma says it's not wrong. You have to weigh up the pros and the cons. It's a cost benefit analysis. The cost, would you go for it?
Probably.
Who else said no? Peter?
Maybe I have to rethink this and weigh this again. If there are benefits and it's not the type of addiction that you need more and more and more.
Thank you. Carol, you said no?
I had coffee 19 years ago, and it had a very bad effect on me, so I wouldn't drink it.
I had gluten last week. Had a really bad effect on me. So people shouldn't eat bread. No,
Say that.
I'm not just asking about your personal preference. As a species, a movement, can we have coffee?
Has to wait for themselves. When we were writing it, I was thinking it would be good to have a good habit, but I have the same experience as Carol. I only had it once and had no sleep.
Monica, you said no?
I changed my opinion because the advantages are above the disadvantages.
Yeah.
So this was just an exercise to try to understand if we should be taking coffee. And I think we can see it's not that straightforward. What's the biggest side effect for coffee?
Oh, sleep problems.
The main one is sleep. And we could overcome that by what? Double F or
That
E?
we drink it in the morning.
Just E. So we could have decaf, or someone said timing. Yep, someone said timing. Is that right? Depending on a person's sensitivity, because each of us have got different biomarkers in our body or different genes, we could overcome these problems. Get a good quality decaf, watch the timing, and most of these side effects would go away. So we spoke about caffeine somewhere up here. Caffeine has positive effects on you as well. Raquel, you said no to coffee. So, oh, you said yes, sorry. Good for coffee. Okay. So I want to summarize was my thoughts on it. So this research that's been ongoing, it deals it deals with it deals with polyphenols. It also deals with caffeine. So it also deals with caffeine. If we look at polyphenols and caffeine as the beneficial effects, they're the main ones. And then we say we want to be safe. And if you're safe, you take the caffeine out. So what's the benefit that coffee brings to you? The source. Anyone else? Anyone answer? What's the benefits of coffee? We good with that? So this is my suggestion. If you eat a sad diet, which is a Western diet, or a Southern diet, which is a bad term for Africa, drink coffee. Why?
Because you have little antioxidants.
Because these diets typically are lacking in polyphenols, which is the new word for antioxidants. And it's a cheap, easy, reliable source of polyphenols. If if you eat 10 fruits and vegetables a day, don't bother. It won't make hardly any difference. All those all of those health benefits get washed out. 10 is on the low side. You really want to be at around the 15 number. So that's my suggestion. If you eat a bad diet, take coffee. If you're on a really good diet, don't bother. And I'll change 10 to 15. We'll do 12. 12 is hard to get to. Any questions?
You mean by 12, like I take salad and that's in salad there's a lot of veg. Yeah.
In Europe and the United States, therefore I assume Slovakia, one serving, depending on what the item is, approximately 80 grams. It might be slightly higher for fruit. And if you want to do it properly, juice does not count. That gives you a sort of a guideline. So, so if you were to do this, you can see you need about 1 kilogram of fruits and vegetables a day. And this does not include potatoes or other starchy vegetables. The rules have got stricter over time. No juice because no fiber.
Smoothies.
Sorry?
Smoothie.
Smoothie is just blended up fruit or vegetables. They're whole foods. You had the hand up, Sylvie? Would you like it removed from the vow?
Don't like coffee.
Do you like Pepsi? Okay, so you don't care if it's in there or not because you don't drink it. Anyone else? What do people think about Sylvie's question? I don't want to say will. Let's say should. Should it be removed from the vows based upon what you have heard? Thomas?
I don't think we should I think the topic should not worry us. We are on the way to realize which things are good for us and what things are not good for us. We are still learning. Everybody is deciding individually for himself or herself. Be a burden, it should be like something good to go forward in the movement.
So it should stay or removed from the vowels.
This whole thing is about my individual decision. I recognize things that are good for me and things that are not good for me.
The vowel does not give you individual freedom.
The vowels are important. They should be our direction.
Sylvie?
We can say the same thing for chocolate.
How many people currently eat chocolate? It's funny. 75% of people here eat chocolate, and yet they said no to coffee. I find that interesting. People think chocolate is not as bad as coffee. And I wonder why that is. Either you know a lot of research, or chocolate wasn't readily available in the 19th century in the United States. And so Ellen White doesn't address it. Is why it's not in the vow. Anyone else? They have an opinion that we should take it out or leave it?
Exactly the question, because now it sounds that coffee is the narcotics, but if it's not, it shouldn't be there.
So it has narcotic properties to it. And the most offensive substance is decaf. Sorry, it's caffeine. But coffee in moderation, the benefits outweigh the risks. Does that change your opinion?
And if it's a narcotics. Have positive effects, but there is this one negative that we're talking about.
Is chocolate a narcotic?
I don't know.
Emma, is chocolate a narcotic? When I say chocolate, I just mean whatever form you want to go with.
recordings do.
No, I don't think so. I think like coffee, it might have narcotic properties.
Deniska says coffee is a narcotic properties, if you like. And you said cocoa does too. So they you either have them both in or both out. Why do people eat chocolate for, by the way?
Affects your emotions.
Má to dopad.
So Natalie eats chocolate because it affects her emotions. Oh,
It could be addictive. And so it makes people happy. Makes people happy like the coffee does. It affects your emotions.
so chocolate is addictive.
I thought it was the sugar. I didn't realize that cacao was addictive. I thought it was the sugar in the way they make it.
Yes.
They just mix cocoa beans and sugar, mix them.
Bean, and I didn't realize that was addictive. But when you have the cacao chocolate with the sugar, that I thought that was the addictive part.
Coffee with sugar. So it's the sugar that's the addictive bit or the coffee?
Coffee, isn't it? It's a stimulating and it's addictive.
It's the cocoa beans that are addictive in chocolate, not the sugar. No chocolate, no coffee.
Have this strict opinion. Be good to look at the definition of narcotics.
I already did.
You showed that it's opposite, that it's not dulling our senses, but that it's stimulating them.
So Ellen White is teaching error.
She has knowledge of her age, so of knowledge of that age, it was an error.
So coffee is a stimulant now, not a narcotic. Fix all the problem.
Yes.
So you don't mind eating stimulants.
They can be good.
So you only eat stimulants that make you high, but not stimulants that make you low.
Everything has its meaning within its time and situation.
I have no idea what that means.
So don't understand what you're asking me.
Should it remain in the vowel or taken out?
Until I make some research, I'm not going to say yes or no.
Okay.
Think we should change the vowel. We have more advanced research than Ellen White had. Research will confirm some of her diet choices. Some research have a different opinion from back then to today.
Put your hand up. So I can't, my translator's gone funny. Put your hand up if we should remove it from the vowels. Put your hands up if it should remain. Put your hands up if it should remain. Okay. Why should it remain, Monica?
Because it also has health risks. And I believe we should discuss them with people. And then they can decide what to do.
So do you have to change the wording? To what? Uh, Drink coffee and take a risk. What do you want to change it to?
Take it out of the group of narcotics. Vyťala by som to
Done. Then what?
coffee and then this line according to your circumstances.
So drink coffee according to your circumstances. So you say we can drink coffee.
It's not a food I would recommend.
So you're not going to recommend it. So why do all of that? Just say don't drink coffee. I don't understand your thought process. Esther?
A lot of people don't cannot eat the legumes.
No,
A lot of people can't eat bread.
Would be my next thing. Bread is very bad to eat. If it's not baked by yourself, then it's worse than the coffee.
So now you want to add red onto the forbidden list in a vowel. That's what you just said. And apples.
With that, I want to say that what is good for someone can be worse or bad for someone else.
Tamina?
If we don't change the well because coffee contains health risk, no one worry to limit sugar and oil. Make a wow about that one.
Okay, run out of time. For those online, I guess we're going to carry on after we close. I still hold to what I've advised here. My suggestion. If you don't eat a good diet, drink decaf coffee. People like prescriptions. 2 cups a day. No more, no less. If if you eat a good diet, approximately 1 kilogram, and half of that has to be vegetables. And half the vegetables have to be leaves. So it gets all complicated. So maybe you just drink the coffee. Last, you got your hand up? Last thought, maybe.
I was just thinking that the persons who asked about can we drink coffee are not interested in drinking decaf because they don't give you the same benefits as coffee.
So the person who asked is a drug addict because they want the caffeine. So what you said?
Say you're a drug addict because you want coffee.
Yes.
How do you know the person wasn't a health fanatic?
Health benefits in decaf. Side effects.
So they just said coffee. They didn't make any distinction between it. We've discussed that.
I don't think it will answer the question.
They don't hear what you're saying.
It's not going to answer their question, but I'm not sure what they meant by coffee.
Anyone else? The majority of people said we should change the vowel to give people the freedom to drink coffee. And if you're going to drink coffee, these are my suggestions. This is not a recommendation. I don't give them. But I've tried to give a practical response to the current science as I understand it. We're out of time. We'll close with prayer. I hope I answered the question. We haven't finished the question about diet, but we've dealt with one element of vow 17. The problems in which the vow is written, as it relates to coffee. We've had a brief review of the current science. Based upon that, people are thinking about having coffee or want it. Given my suggestions. Let's pray. Holy God, we thank you for allowing us to come to this camp meeting. As we continue to try to understand your will, to put it into practice, give us wisdom that we might make right choices. In Jesus' name, amen.